Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. I wanted to talk to you about the narcissist and the construct of the demon possession. So let's jump in. When you meet the narcissist, they have a fantasy and they build a fantasy for each individual person that they are with. When they meet you, they tailor fit a mask that works for you, where you fit a role in the fantasy to take care of their needs, to be supply for the needs that they have. Most of the time it is a caregiver, it could be a cheerleader, it just depends. But typically, if it's a primary source, it's going to be the caregiver type, and they form that mask. During love bomb phase is when you're most susceptible because you have no idea who they are. That's why they do all this data mining, they do all this love bombing. The love bombing is to cover up any red flags that get told to you from your intuition. And then you get these things in your head where it's like, give them the benefit of the doubt. We all have gotten that. So that's something that's probably put into your mind from the enemy, because they like to come to empaths because we are the type that don't like to judge people unless we have solid evidence. And that's how we would like to be judged as well. And so because of that, and the way we are empathetically and sympathetically with them, we will give them 1,000 chances that they feed off of that. We're the ones that can produce a lot of fuel, continually give and give, even when we're mistreated. And all of this comes from this demonic construct. When you hear in the Bible that Satan comes and he masquerades as an angel of light, that's exactly what the narcissist does. They come and there's something unique about them, but once you understand fully what's going on, you realize that they're very similar. In fact, if you've had many of them or a couple of them in your life, then you'll realize this particular narcissist was very similar. They moved and walked and operated very similar to maybe the last one. Some people say it's like the same familiar spirit, it's just a different body. Yeah, so they wear a mask and they form fit that mask based on your history and all the data mining they do, anything that they can get information wise. And they build it tailor fit to pull you in. And when they get upset with you, when they discard you, when they leave you, a lot of times it's not necessarily that you're low on the fuel. I mean, sometimes that's the case, but a lot of times it's because you've seen through the mask. And when you've seen through the mask, then it won't work. So they have to leave. And it's very offensive to them because they need the mask, because the mask is everything to them. That's the false self. You know how they always say that they're only in love with the mask. And when you find out the mask, then, one of a couple things will happen. Typically, like when they come back to hoover you, they adjust the mask. They refit the mask for the you that has found out the old mask, so that they can draw you back in when they need you. They could say that they met with the Lord. They could say they had an enlightenment. They thought about the things that you had brought up to them that they never listened to you about. They realized that they wanted to make some changes in their life. They won't really give you credit because it's something that they can't do. They can't really apologize either. I mean, their apologies are terrible. But that is all constructed because they've been doing this since childhood. So in childhood, they would do it for their parents. They would form fit the mask the way the caregiver hierarchy wanted them to be. So they would seek for perfection with this mask that they would fit so that they could operate exactly the way their narcissist caregiver wanted them to be. And they actually enjoy doing this. That's why they like to get new sources of supply, because they can start all over. And they have this part of their construct. They believe they're perfect. So when you find them out, it's very offensive because you've messed up the integrity of the mask and their integrity for being perfect. And so that's why they'll leave for a while, give you time, and then come back with a new mask on. They will devise the mask for you, and then they'll love bomb you and subdue you. They will retrofit you to fill their needs through manipulation. And when you get out of line, that's when you get punished, right? When you start to question the mask, when you start to think for yourself, when you start to buck back with them, they take it as disobedience or something. It's a weird way, the way they look at it. So they have to punish you, so they'll do different things. They'll manipulate, they'll gaslight, they'll breadcrumb, they'll ghost you, they'll dog whistle you, smear you, all these different tactics to get you either back in line or to smear you up so that they will look like the good guy because they have a mask out there. But when they meet new supply, they can start over fresh with a new mask and start with it being perfect again. And that's all they do. They have a general mask that they use for everybody, and they form fit it for you or somebody else based on your history and what they believe will work and how they can fit you into taking care of their needs, to serving them, pampering them. You become their property. You go into contract with them, almost like you're at a movie studio to play a part. Maybe you don't realize it, but that's what happens. And because you decide to go into covenant with them, contract with them, you have to pay the consequences, meaning there's things in this world system, there's rules, and you get intertwined with them. You have to reap some of what they're sowing, especially if they're taking your energy. And when you accept their abuse, you kind of become a lie right along with them. And they like a new target, a new supply source, because they can start fresh. They can adjust that mask and add to it or take away from it, from what they've learned from their last supplies. So if you were the very last one, they feel like that the next source supply, they're going to even be a little bit better. They can tweak it, even make it more deceptive. And they get excited about this because they feel like you're going to solve all their problems when you're new. You're going to save them. And that maybe this mask is going to work. And they don't have the ability to self-reflect. So they continue to do the same thing. That's why they cycle. But this is what the devil inside them has done with them, the demons. They get them to cycle, and they get them running to where they can't stop. And when you can't stop and you're always running, then you can never think. It's almost as if they're in autopilot. So when you have your mind, will, and emotions, and you don't have the ability to process the emotions because you deny it and you refuse to because you're doing a bunch of bad things, all you think about is devising evil. You get filled with evil. And the only way for you to become an individual and for you to think for yourself and to be independent from being in autopilot is to process your emotions, all your emotions, mainly the ones that are involved with the fruits of the Spirit. A lot of times, and I've heard a deliverance pastor say this, the narcissist gets sent out to Christians. They marry Christians, and they marry them to keep them down, to put the light out, to wear them out, to weaken them so that they're of no use. They can weaken you in many different ways. They can get you so financially in debt that you can never dig your way out. They can attack your mind, will, and emotions to where you just have nothing left through fog and confusion and rumination, the ringing in the ears, making you hopeless, putting you in fear. See, the 9 fruits of the Spirit are supposed to be there to help support you, protect you, and to keep you whole and solid. They protect you because if people come at you and you have the fruits of the Spirit, then you would deny them. And that's why the narcissist has to put on a mask and wear somebody else's energy to come in, because you would have never let them in. So they have to fake it. They have to fake it, and then they have to marry you real quick. And a lot of times it's under 3 months, and on the night of the wedding, the night you get married is the night that they start incredibly devaluing you right away, because they have you locked down. And a lot of times when you defy them and you don't follow what they have conditioned in you, you get dealt with, you get punished, but also they'll say things like, I've been trying to train you. They'll say things like that, and that's because they have to tell the truth. So if you really listen to the narcissist, they will tell you the truth in all these lies. The truth will come out because they have to. It's just a law. They change your fruits of the Spirit. They strip you of them, and then they replace them with fear and anxiety and paranoia. And if they can get you to hate and to be angry and bitter, and get you to hate and be jealous, just like they are, then you will be unfit for doing the Lord's work completely. Demons these days run on a covert level, and the world system is run from the spirit of narcissism. It's the beast system. That's what I call it, because you're as if the beasts of the field are worse than, because even beasts have love. These are devourers. They come to steal and to kill and to destroy. They're not happy, they're not satisfied, and they will not sleep unless these things are accomplished. That's what it says in the Word. It also says in the Word, there were people that as soon as they were born, they were devising evil. It's in Psalms, I think 58. Talks about, because, people will say that these individuals seem like they were born this way. Well, the Word backs that up, and they just have nothing good in them. I don't think it would matter what environment they were born into. They just were like that at birth. I heard an MD say something yesterday, that narcissism, the psychologists have been wrong for over 100 years. So many people that have been dealt the same issues as a narcissist, and they never turned into a narcissist, so there's no proof that that is true. He said that it was more of a genetic component than anything. And that's why I believe that we were tested somewhere before we were placed here on Earth, in an environment for a short period of time maybe. Or just that some of us were just, God gives us an innateness, and that's where we get to choose out of it, our innateness. And our innateness is who we are. That is our true destiny. And it's hard to, I think a lot of people feel that it's completely environmental and trauma in their life, and that they can get them delivered or fixed. I kind of look at the narcissist as, even if you got them delivered of demons, they would almost be just a demon in the physical form. And they would just get repossessed. Because they don't think for themselves. So they have their mind, will, and their emotions, but they shut down love and intuition and their inner voice, which is their spirit, their innateness. And so when you do that, you're almost just reacting like there is autopilot, where your mind, will, and emotions just are, they are based on your environment, but your innate spirit is not. And that's the difference. And when you kick out your innate spirit, or you have gone so far that you cannot hear it anymore, it's not there anymore. And when it leaves, it takes with it the ability to have the 9 fruits of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, kindness, hope. All of those, they're all tethered to love. Love being the first one. They cannot suffer along with you, and they cannot make any changes, because if you are reprobate, that means you are fixed. You are fixed in a divisive, deceptive, devious, fallen state, and God left you there to rot while you're still alive on this earth. He let them go. He gave them up to their own vile lifestyle. And that's spoken of in Romans 1 and 2 Timothy. There are certain individuals that if you were to deliver them, they would still be, because they built this construct out of their innateness, and they shut down the love centers and their creativity centers and their common sense centers, which are in their right frontal lobe, their anatomical right, that's why everything in the Bible is the anatomical right is blessed and the anatomical left is cursed, because Jesus is the right hand of God the Father. This is a demonic construct, and they run on a covert level. I mean, even the overt narcissist, a lot of people would never believe them to be filled with demons as well, so they would be covert as well for what we've been conditioned to believe in this earth. Even when individuals that are not narcissists go through deliverance, it takes a long time to get those demons to surface, because they try to stay in there and act covert so that the deliverance pastors will leave them alone and think they're done. Or they will extract the lesser demons and try to convince the deliverance pastors that that's all the demons. I've done a lot of studies on this, and this is the truth of it all. And before I started seeing demon faces on this individual that I was with, and realized the complete character of what they can and cannot do is just like the Satan of the Bible, that they have the exact character of Satan of the Bible. Everything that they do, they're destroyers, and they came to destroy you. And if you survived, then that was not supposed to happen. And they make it hard for you to get away with this addiction and with this conditioning. But truly, in the first stage of the love bomb, they are conditioning. They are giving you what they want you to be trained to do to them. So when they put you on a high pedestal, then you put them on a high pedestal. But then they knock you off of yours, you see. But you continue to keep them on theirs. When they pamper you and love bomb you, you start to love bomb them back. And then they quit love bombing you and put you in devalued state, but you continue to love bomb them. Any idiosyncrasies that you have, they're not bothered by them in the love bomb phase. But later on, they do let them bother them. And any little place where you're not perfect, they will nitpick and try to destroy you with all of those aspects of your life. But you, in the love bomb phase, you talk them up for all of the good qualities that you feel that they have in their fakery, or that they have potential to reach before you understand this. But after they put you in devalue mode, you continue to promote them. You see, because they conditioned you in the love bomb phase. They don't talk about that you love bomb them, but that's exactly what happens. You put away your intuition and you end up fighting yourself. That's why you can get autoimmune diseases. You're telling your intuition no, you're running it over, and then you start to lose your fruits of the spirit. They hollow you out, they drain all your fuel, all of your good soul energy, and they flip it with you and give you all of their fear, anxiety, paranoia. They start to plant these seeds in you. And until you break covenant with them, then you will continue to deal with the negative reaping that is within them. The demons, they come to torment. That's what a demon does. That's what the narcissist does. A demon cannot love. A demon cannot have any of the fruits of the spirit, neither does a narcissist. A demon comes, or a devil comes masquerading, wearing a mask. That's exactly what the narcissist does. A demon would have all the qualities of Satan, the demonic construct of Satan. That's exactly what the narcissist has. A demon would be a destroyer. That's exactly what the narcissist does. You lose your health, your wealth, your looks, everything, your motivation, your friendships. Everything is sucked from you, and they leave. And while you're away from them, you're stuck ruminating. It's all you can do. That's so that you don't advance. While they're gone, they're in cycles, 3 to 4 months. While they're gone, you cannot get off the rumination in 3 to 4 months. So for the next 3 to 4 months, these demons in them know that you're going to just be ruminating on them. You can't really go anywhere. You can't do anything. You can't think too far. You're fogged up and you can barely get to God. All you do is you dwell on them all the time. And things get worse because you're dwelling on them instead of dwelling on the needs of what you have to do on a daily basis to keep everything together. So things could get worse and you have a hard time sleeping. You're kind of stuck in a rut. You're frozen in time. But then they're going to come right around the corner again when the rumination would start to come off, say in 6-8 months, possibly, maybe the minimum. And they're already back by then to reinstill and install and to implant new pain and destruction and breadcrumbing and hot and cold in your life so that it reinstills a new round of rumination as well. And they will continue these cycles with you. And again, you become a mirror image of them in a sense, because you're on a cycle with them. If they keep coming back to you and you keep doing rounds and cycles with them, then you're on cycles as well now. So now the demon has you on a cycle and them on a cycle. And so you really want to get away from them and heal. You have to go no contact. You have to shut all your windows, lock all your windows and all your doors. You want to put nails in those windows so they can't open. Spiritually, not physically. And block them on all medias and don't look into their media because this is detrimental to your soul. And you have one life here and then judgment. Don't let the demon narcissist take you down. And know that at the end of the day, you can't even get them delivered. They're permanent possession. And they cannot change. They will not change. And they like who they are as much as they are in shame and embarrassment for the things they do or the ways that they get caught. It's just out of circumstance. And there's no motivation of goodness or godliness left in them. You'll never advance with a narcissist. They can only go so far in a relationship because they do not have the tools to go any further. And that's why they can't have long cycles with you as well, because the longer cycles go with you, you're going to find them out. You're going to find out that it's a sham. So they have to have short cycles. And they would have to get emotionally involved with you, which they can't because they don't have the tools anymore. But these are things that you would find out quicker, and you would make them null and void. So they have to do short cycles with you and then run away. And they also need more fuel because they're insatiable. That's another sign and a telltale sign of a demon. When you got demons in you, you're insatiable. You cannot satisfy their appetite. So this is part 1. I may do a part 2. I'll just go ahead and put that forth. But if you can give me a like, subscription, and thumbs up. Love you all. Till next time. Peace. We out.